2, 1. Well, hi, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you. And boy, we have been in the grips of winter, the deep freeze, whatever. It has been horrible across a good part of the central and southern United States over the last couple of days. But the good news is the light is at the end of the tunnel. If you look across the region here, these are temperatures as of around 6 o'clock on Thursday evening, and we're looking at the numbers getting better. Even though that's still brutal up north, they're not quite as brutal. At least we're not seeing widespread below zero readings. And even down into Texas now, instead of teens, we're looking at 20s. Now, it's going to be another cold night across the region here. And Friday will be cold too, but Friday does feature change, and we'll talk about change. So have you been suffering from, let's say, abnormal amounts of aches and pains as of late? Maybe you have a rheumatoid arthritis or migraine headaches or some type of autoimmune type disease, something like that. Well, the reason why is because there's a lot of pressure in the atmosphere here. So when we got a couple different ways we look at high pressure. In the summertime, when high pressure gets seen in the upper atmosphere, way above the Earth's surface, it expands it and makes it hot. But when you look at areas of high pressure associated with cold air, it's not located in the upper atmosphere. It's actually low pressure up here. Underneath it is some very high pressure because the air is so cold, and cold air is dense and heavy, and it dips down like this. So you're getting, across a good part of the country here tonight, you're getting a lot of sinking motion in the lowest levels of the atmosphere. So there's a lot of atmosphere pressing down on you. And that's what creates these added aches and pains. And when you see a system like this, cold air like this, it comes from Siberia. These are where the coldest outbreaks come from. Then you're going to see high barometric pressure. And this one covers the area from Canada all the way down into the Gulf here. Now, the good news is this is going to begin to weaken some tomorrow. And as it weakens, you're going to see that bitterly cold air begin to modify. You don't see these pinks and purples as widespread. You're seeing more of the blue colors here, and the high is not only weakening, the air is not only modifying, but it's also shifting to the east. So we'll probably see, at least over Texas and Oklahoma anyway, our barometric pressure will remain very high tonight into tomorrow morning, but starting tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, it'll begin to fall some. So you'll see a little bit of a let up there. And then look as we head into the weekend here, that high completely shifts off to the east. It weakens considerably, and as a result, south and southeasterly winds, and it's going to warm up. So the light is almost at the end of the tunnel. So if you do suffer from aches and pains, again, it's because of the barometric pressure. What I was showing you a moment ago was in millibars. We're going to look at it now as something you're probably more used to, and that's inches of mercury. And today, the pressure about 30.61. That's about as high as it gets in our part of the country here. Then you go down tomorrow, and it goes down to about 30.49. That's still a high barometric pressure, but it's not as high as it is now. You go further down as we head into Saturday and Sunday. I mean, matter of fact, you're going down closer to 30. That's almost a 60. Well, I don't even know what to even call it here. There's a change in pressure by about 60 here, and 60, I guess 0.60 inches of mercury. I really don't know how to say it, folks. But anyway, so you still can see aches and pains because you're seeing changes in barometric pressure here. But as you get into next week, low pressure could also create some aches and pains, but nothing like what extreme high pressure does for you there. So there, hopefully, you're going to see some improvements if you do suffer from that here soon. So there's this little finger of high clouds across the area, the region here tonight. There's no big winter storms out there. Oh, there's a little spin back in the Rockies, some high-level snow in the mountains out here. This system's not going to be very strong. It's going to drop south and east and move through South Texas over the weekend. That may bring some showers to maybe South Texas here, maybe Friday night and Saturday. And then, of course, North Texas and southern parts of Oklahoma, maybe a sprinkle Saturday night, but don't expect much. Temperatures tonight going to be in the single digits and low teens. That's a little bit of an improvement from the last couple of nights. And I think the bigger factor is there's not as much wind, and that helps out tremendously. So, I mean, if you watch this from another part of the country, and I know places like the up north, like Wisconsin and in the northeastern part of the country, I know you get cold. But I don't think you've ever experienced nothing quite as cold as weather that we get here in Texas when it gets cold like this. So that wind, folks, it will just eat right through you. I mean, you guys up in Kansas and Nebraska and the Dakotas, you know what I'm talking about here. It's awful. But the wind not blowing helps a good bit. And we're finally above freezing by tomorrow early in the afternoon. And if we look at highs tomorrow across my neck of the woods, most places mid-30s. So high pressure, the Arctic high, is weakening and moving on out of the way here, replacing it with milder weather by Saturday, Sunday and Monday look really good. We're going to go from one extreme to the next. We go from this extreme cold weather pattern to a nice spring-like pattern early next week. Remember, late February, early March is when we really start to see the first signs of spring across the region here. And it won't be that long, and the trees will be budding out. And then the allergy season, the pollen season is going to start to go up. And then following that, guess what? Severe weather season kicks in late March, April, and into May. And then next week is our Severe Weather Awareness Week here at News Channel 6. And we will be getting you ready for the upcoming spring severe weather season. And then next Friday at about, I think it's 6:30 when Wheel of Fortune normally airs. I'm sorry for you people who love Wheel of Fortune. It'll be played at a different time that day. But we'll have our 30-minute special severe weather awareness in Texoma. I'd like to thank Service Master for making these live and these video recordings possible for us. Everybody have a great night and stay warm.